Hey, what's up everyone? Tedrick85 here, and today I'm going to be talking about a game that I've wanted to review for quite some time. Metroid for the NES. Metroid is considered a video game classic, and for good reason, because this game not only has so much to offer, but it has stood the test of time, and that it is just as much fun playing it now as it was when it first came out. This game came out in 1987, the same year that Castlevania, The Legend of Zelda, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out!, and Rad Racer were released, and it has received a fan base that is as big as those two games. This is my personal favorite game that came out that year, though that's not saying that any of the other games that I mentioned earlier are inferior. It's just that I enjoy playing it more than those games. In this review, not only will I be talking about what you'll see in the game, but also why Metroid is considered a gaming classic, not only to me, but to the many others who have enjoyed playing it over the years. The first thing I should mention about this game is that you play as Samus Aran, who happens to be a woman. This is one of the first video games to feature a female as the main protagonist of a video game. The awesome thing about this is that you don't realize Samus is a woman until you beat the game. Even the game's instruction manual leads you to believe that Samus is a guy when you play this game. The fact that Samus was featured as a woman proved to be groundbreaking, as it paved the way for heroines such as Lara Croft from Tomb Raider, Jill Valentine from the Resident Evil series, and Commander Shepard from Mass Effect to leave their marks in video game history. Throughout her journey, Samus must collect energy as well as other items that she needs in order to complete her mission. You get energy by defeating enemies, though not every enemy surrenders energy when you vanquish them. You can also get energy tanks that you can fill as well. These allow you not only to collect more energy, but to also take more damage before you get killed. You can collect a maximum of 6 energy tanks, but they are either well hidden or heavily guarded by either deadly creatures or level hazards. The items here are well hidden too. For instance, you can get bombs for when you are in the morph ball, the high jump that can help you reach certain places, the famous screw attack that lets you defeat flying enemies as you jump, the long beam to shoot a greater distance, the wave beam to shoot at a wider range, the ice beam that allows you to freeze enemies, and the coveted Various suit, which cuts the amount of damage that can be inflicted upon Samus in half. The second thing that makes this game great is that it is one of the first games to establish a strong storyline that could be built upon. The story is that in the year 20X5 in the cosmic calendar, a group of space pirates have captured organisms known as Metroids and plan to use them as a biological weapon. It is up to the federal police to go to the planet Zebes, which is misspelled as Zebeth in the game's intro, and infiltrate the space pirate base there and destroy the Metroid specimens that are held captive there by the sinister Mother Brain. That's where Samus Aran comes in. She is equipped with a special suit made by an ancient race known as the Chozo that allows her to have special powers and to embark on missions that would be considered too dangerous for most others. The third thing that's great about this game is that it has some of the best music to be featured in a video game. For example, here's the title screen music. What makes this music so good is that it beautifully captures the mood and tone of the game and its atmosphere. Not only is it futuristic, but it's also kind of creepy. Some of the music makes you feel that you're playing an awesome sci-fi epic as well. Here's the music for the game's first section, known as Brinstar. Some of the music also gives you a sense of isolation and the feeling that Samus's mission is indeed a treacherous one. Here's the music that can be heard at Kraid's lair. Speaking of the game's atmosphere, it gives you the same feeling you get when you watch the first two Alien movies, which is actually the inspiration for this game. Samus must navigate her way through Zebes and go through dark places and corridors, much like an alien. Some of the environments in this game remind me of an alien hive where they cocoon potential hosts. Overall, there is a sense of claustrophobia while you play this game at times. Some of the creatures you encounter in this game look and act much like the Alien movies as well. The Metroids behave much like facehuggers in that they attach themselves to your head. Ridley, one of the game's two mini-bosses, vaguely looks like an adult xenomorph with his elongated head and whip-like scorpion tail. Even his name is the first name of the man that directed the first Alien film, Ridley Scott. Oh, and let's not forget to mention that the main protagonist in the Alien movies was Ellen Ripley, who obviously is a female just like Samus. Another great thing about this game is its controls. They are as smooth of controls as you could ask for in an NES game at the time. Though when you first play this game, you may find Samus's jumping kind of awkward, but you'll quickly learn how to manipulate her and make her the true space hunter that she is. Her movements are very fluid, and when she moves pretty fast. This is great considering all the areas she has to explore, and there's also no need for a dash button as she moves at a pretty frenetic pace. Shooting is also simple for Samus, as you just need to push the B button. Don't worry about encountering shoddy hit detection in this game, because it doesn't exist. When you hit an enemy with a beam, it's dead. When an enemy hits you, you receive damage. No cheap shots, no phantom attacks, no beams passing through an enemy, no nothing. Perhaps my favorite thing about this game is that there is no set way to beat it. You can collect items in any order you wish. You can choose whether you want to beat either of the two mini-bosses, Ridley or Craig, first. Heck, you don't even have to fight any of the mini-bosses if you wish, and you could go straight to the game's last section, Turian, if you do a special trick involving a flying enemy, the ice beam, the morph ball, and some bombs. Although certain enemies can greatly aid you on your progress through Zebes, some of them aren't even necessary to beat this game. It's probably best to get as many missiles as you can as well as the ice beam, because they will help you out immensely, especially if you encounter any Metroids. This game also throws you a few curveballs. Perhaps the one that sticks out to me the most is the fake Kraid enemy in this game. In order to confront Mother Brain and the Metroids, first you have to defeat both of the game's mini-bosses in order for you to reach Turian, the section of Zebes in which they are located. When you come across this imposter and beat him, you think you've made progress, only to find out it isn't the real Kraid. A dead giveaway of this is that he is a pushover compared to the actual mini-boss. All it takes is one missile and he's done. Another thing this game likes to pull off is its use of dead ends or rooms with nothing in it but a horde of enemies. Not only could you potentially get killed by getting caught in one, but it also takes away precious time that could cost you getting a good ending. The best thing to do to avoid this is by either making a map of where you've been, or simply look at a walkthrough online, so you can get on the right track. I must say that you only get one life, but the game does have a password system, which allows you to pick up where you left off. Much like in Monster Party, the password system in this game consists of capital and lowercase letters, as well as punctuation. I'm not a fan of this, but this is only a minor gripe I have in an otherwise fantastic game. Not only can you pick up where you left off with the password system, but you can also enter in certain passwords that allow you to start at a certain area of Zebes with certain upgrades and items. Perhaps the two most famous passwords are the Nerper Sword one, which is pretty much the God mode of Metroid, and Justin Bailey, which allows you to start at the fiery section of Zebes known as Norfair, while having 4 empty energy tanks, 255 missiles, the Wave Beam, Long Beam, morph ball bombs, jump boots, and screw attack, while also being suitless. That's right, entering this cheat will allow you to see that Samus Aran is a woman without having to beat the game. The only thing is, why is Samus's hair green? Is it because green stands out against a black background? I don't know, but I think it looks really goofy. Oh, and a little fun fact, Justin Bailey is not the name of a person. A Bailey is a British slang term for a swimsuit, so when you're entering the password, you enter it as just in Bailey or just in a swimsuit. The last thing I should say about this game is that it is difficult, but it's definitely beatable. It's not too easy, yet it's not too hard. If you play this game and are pretty familiar with it, you'll probably complete it in about a couple of hours. Your pros can beat this game in less than an hour. I have to confess that the final battle with Mother Brain is among my all-time favorite boss battles. Even the final room in which she is located provides a fitting end to what is an incredible trek through Zebes. Everything tries to stop you from reaching her, and the action can be very tense. But once you reach Mother Brain, just send a bunch of missiles her way, and she will be blown to smithereens. Just when you think you have the game beat, the game throws one last knuckleball at you as you only have a certain amount of time to escape Zebes. This section pushes your jumping ability to the very limit as the platforms here are very small. You'll find yourself wincing and squirming in your seat as you make each jump. Overall, it's pretty manageable to get through considering the layout of the platforms repeat as you go up. Simply make it to the lift at the top and push up to send Samus home. Depending on how long it takes you to beat the game, you'll get a different ending. It doesn't matter which ending you get because all of them leave you satisfied once you see it. The success of the first Metroid game has meant that it has spawned several sequels, and like the Mario series, it manages to get better and better with each new installment. This game even got a reboot known as Metroid Zero Mission, which was released for the Game Boy Advance. However, that game doesn't quite emote the kind of memories that this game does, not only because it's been out longer, but also of how innovative it was for its time. It truly feels as if you are there on an adventure with Samus Aran at Zebes, helping her defeat Mother Brain and her forces. If you have never played this game, I definitely suggest looking for it and trying it, or if you have a Wii U, purchasing it from the eShop. You won't regret it because this game is simply amazing in practically every way imaginable. This is Tedric85 speaking. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.